to Viewpoints On episode 30. Big number. Good job. So let's just get right into it.
Right.
Not a lot of TV this week. We're in the limbo of TV land.
Right. The finales have ended for the fall shows, and we're waiting for the summer shows to begin. Burn Notice starts on next Thursday, so that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, so not a lot of TV, a lot of cable.
Yeah.
I watched the Celebrity Apprentice, not Celebrity Apprentice, the UK Apprentice.
Apprentice UK.
On your recommendation. That's about really all I've watched. It's been nice without TV.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's like crack though. You know, as soon as I get a little more taste, I'm going to be right back on it. So we'll go right into Want to See It.
Right.
So this last week we had Dance Flick, which I know you saw like 4 times in the theater.
Yeah, you know, I just had a marathon viewing where I just watched it over and over again in the same theater.
Yeah. That's good.
There was some dancing and some jokes and about 47 weigh-ins.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense.
Not really. I don't want our viewers to think I have no taste. I would not go near Dance Flick.
I also had Terminator Salvation and Night at the Museum.
And as we predicted, Night at the Museum was the #1 movie.
Yeah, about $70 million for over 4 days.
Terminator, not as much as I thought. I mean, I still thought it would do well in the #2 spot. So I'm wondering, do you think it's the word of mouth? Do you think maybe it's the content? Do you think, well, what could it be?
Well, it was PG, you know, it wasn't rated R, so I think that helped them. Right. I think it would have been, if it was a rated R movie, we would have been in the 30s, I think. Because they made about $51 million over 4 days. I just think bad word of mouth. Everyone kind of caught wind of it wasn't that good, and, you know, by Saturday and Sunday and Monday rolled around, everyone's like, well...
I mean, Christian Bale gives it a certain amount of credibility, but when it gets down to it, a bad movie is a bad movie.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about it. Night at the Museum, on the other hand, word of mouth. It was word of mouth bulletproof. Like,
yeah, this is one of those movies. It's pretty proof. And you went and saw it.
Yeah, I went and saw it on Monday, Memorial Day. It was kind of packed.
Okay.
Lots of kids, lots of adults. You know, good mix of people. I liked it. My niece liked it.
You were noticing, though, because you've been to the Smithsonian, you were noticing there were some inconsistencies, especially in the location.
Well, the problems, see, I'll say this, I had problems with the film, but since it's a children's, you know, like a family movie, I'm willing to sort of, you know, look past those things.
Okay.
So, like, they were at the Air and Space Museum, and they're like, oh, we need to get in there. And they're like, oh, but there's guards, let's run. And so they run, and then, like, they end up at the Lincoln Memorial. I'm like, that's a good half an hour walk. Like, it's easily 2 miles away. Like, so they just couldn't say, like, oh, it's right across the street. There's so many things between that Air and Space Museum. The Air and Space Museum is pretty much at the end of the Smithsonian thing, and the Lincoln Memorial's over here. So, and then he went back at the end, and I'm like, okay, you know, you'd be tired. He'd be like, and then the other thing, like, he breaks into the Smithsonian, and like all this, you know, like the things that come alive just do this, you know, ungodly amount of damage to the Smithsonian. And I'm thinking, where's the night guards for the Smithsonian? Like, the biggest museum in the world, you'd think they would have like at least an old guy walking around with a flashlight or something. You know, I don't care that the giant statue of Lincoln comes to life and walks down the mall 2 miles into the museum, breaks open a window, like. I've been there late at night, like, walking by there. There's still people that are milling around there. And so I'm willing, you know...
By the way, how powerful is this tablet that it's in the museum and Lincoln comes to
2 miles away, yeah. And they, like, at the end, they leave with a tablet and things are still living. And I'm like, okay. So there's a lot to it that was like... I don't get this.
But you just suspend all that and go with it because it is sort of a fun comedy.
It's a family movie. It's not meant for me to, like, you know, criticize, like, overly think about these things. You know, my niece had fun. The one thing in the theater, I normally don't like talking in the movie because I think it's rude. But at the end, this giant octopus jumps into the reflecting pool in front of the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
And I turn to my niece. She's 8 years old. And I'm like, if that really happened, that thing would be dead within minutes. You've seen that water. You don't want to go near that. Like, I walked along, like I was, you know, this far away from, like I was walking along, and I was like, oh, God, oh.
No, wow.
So if that octopus jumped in there, it'd be dead. But I did like it. Amy Adams was great as Amelia Earhart.
Yeah,
Bill Hader was good. He
He
played
was
Custer.
Custer, right?
Yeah. Hank Azaria. What can be said? I mean, he's
so funny. He's
Hank
so
Azaria
good.
should be in every comedy movie there is, I think.
He really is, because he plays the villain,
Yep.
but he also does a few voices. He does Lincoln's voice. He
Mhm.
does the Thinker.
Yep.
I think he does another one.
Yeah.
So he's just funny all the
And
time.
another little thing, like there are these cupids that are playing love music during like
Mhm.
some of the parts, and I'm like, oh, this is annoying. And my niece turns, she goes, "That's the Jonas Brothers." And I'm like, "This is the Fox movie. They wouldn't be in there." She's like, "Yes, look, two of them have curly hair and one doesn't." And I'm like, "That's not the Jonas Brothers." So we stayed for the credits, and it was the Jonas Brothers.
You can't argue with an 8-year-old about the Jonas Brothers.
She put me in my 8-year-old put me in my place. So
Well, it's going to have some competition this week
Yes.
because Up is coming out. It's
Yep.
the latest Disney Pixar film. And, I don't think there's any studio that has a track record like Pixar.
No.
Every single one of their films has been a box office blockbuster.
and critical success.
Yeah, they're always, the critics love them and the audiences love them, and they're huge successes and everybody loves the characters. So it's going to be some competition between the family movies there.
Yeah.
Up, the tickets, you say the advance tickets are not selling as much.
No.
But I don't think that's a problem. I think people will show up on the day.
Yeah, I think everyone's seen Night Museum, so that same audience is going to see Up. The only other thing opening is Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell, the new horror movie.
Which clearly they're not fighting for the same
no,
audience at all.
it's going to be like, like the teenagers go with their families, and the families see Up, they're going to
Yeah.
go see Drag Me to Hell.
Right.
And spoiler alert, I told Stephanie I read the spoilers, guess what happens at the end of the movie? Look at the title. Anyways.
She gets dragged into hell?
Yes. So I think Up's going to win the weekend. Night Museum's going to be up there. Drag Me Hell might make it in the teens, I think. It'll be lucky if it makes 10 million, I think. It's
Yeah, it's really one of those movies where it comes out and then about 3 weeks later it's on DVD.
Yeah, and then it's going to, make a lot of money on DVD.
Sure.
Because it's been getting, it's still in the, I think last time I checked it was still 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And from what I hear, it is really scary. So people who like scary movies, like this is a really scary movie.
No, it is, yeah. And so it's Sam Raimi, back to what he was good at before he did Spider-Man.
He started with the Evil Dead stuff,
Yeah.
so...
Star Trek, though, should still do well. And
Of course.
I was really mad because I was really hoping that Star Trek would have broke one of these milestones yesterday, but it didn't. Monsters vs. Aliens is still the #1 movie of the year with 193 million, 800 so thousand.
Right. But Star Trek's gonna catch it.
Star Trek yesterday got to 193 million. It was like 800,000 away.
So close.
Yesterday's box office should push it over the edge.
Right.
To be the #1 movie of the year. And I'm estimating if my fuzzy math is correct, by Fridays, so Saturday morning when the box office comes to Friday,
Right.
Star Trek will pass $200 million.
And
which is great.
We should mention for the holiday weekend, it came in 3rd place, and it really wasn't that far behind Terminator.
No, and it beat Angels vs. Demons, which beat it the week before, so that says something.
Clearly, there's a good word of mouth, and at this point, it's all on repeat viewings. People
Yeah.
who've seen it are going back to see it.
And those people telling people that wouldn't normally
Right.
go, you should really see this.
And we talked about how there isn't really anything like spectacular coming out until Public Enemies comes out 4th
Yeah.
of July weekend. I mean, I know we've got Land of the Lost coming up and stuff, but so it should still continue to do
Yeah.
very well.
My dad saw Angels vs. Demons this weekend.
Yeah.
And he also saw Star Trek, and he said, "Oh, I really like Angels vs. Demons." So I said, "Okay, well, tell me which one is better. Like, which one did you like?" He goes, "Oh, Star Trek was much better."
Yeah,
So-
I could see that.
So there you go. That's all our box office analysis for the week.